Afternoon. This is a matter of Herma versus Herma. Mr. Wrigley, I think the two of you are too close. Maybe if I mute Ms. Herma, but I assume you're going to call her at some point, right?
Yes.
Okay, there's an echo, a bad one.
Still?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Is this better?
It's
Okay.
marginally better, but when you testify, it's going to be terrible. So I think maybe, I don't know how much farther you can move away from him, but the farther the better.
You went about as far away from in our office as possible, but maybe we could, she's going down the hall.
I'm going to try my office.
Tyler's suggesting that you close the door, your door, Mr. Wrigley.
It was
if it's not closed. It was. Okay.
How's this?
That sounds good. I think we're good. Okay. All right. Good afternoon. This is a matter of Herma versus present in the virtual courtroom. We have both parties as well as their respective attorneys. We're here on Mr. Herma's motion to terminate spousal support in this matter. And I'll just ask, are the parties willing to waive opening statements?
Your Honor, I really would appreciate making a short one.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm going to waive because I want to just focus on the closing and getting through.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Wrigley.
Thank you, Your Honor. You already know that the spousal support currently in the judgment is $1,000 per month. Payments have been continuously made in some amount towards that over the last couple of months since Mr. Herma lost his position at In On Time. What you're going to hear is Ms. Herma demonstrate her need for continued spousal support. You're going to hear that through testimony and exhibits showing what her expenses are, what her income is from her prayer ministry consulting service, which is the Herma House, including some minimal cash payments, which she will explain to you. If you see the other charts that we provided, which will show even without Herma House income, which is a net positive to her, she is even further and further into the hole. I understand that that reduces the Herma House really reduces the shortfall. She has been paid $362 every 2 weeks by the unemployment since approximately somewhere in December, I should say. She, of course, is short. We're going to demonstrate that her ability to increase is potential, but it doesn't resolve the need for the spousal support of $1,000 a month, or, as Your Honor has the right, to reduce that and to do it based on various factors. She has a shortfall. She needs the spousal support. That was the reason it was included before. I understand that Mr. Herma lost his job with In On Time. There is other monies that he's received, which we'll show to you. But what I want to do is ask that the court and show through our testimony and our exhibits to either keep the amount at its current level or to reduce it to whatever is equitable in the minds of the court. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Oops, I'm still getting. Not sure where that came from. All right, I will just state for the record, I believe that I've heard a stipulation that there has been a change in circumstances. I just want to confirm that. Mr. Wrigley, you don't dispute that?
Well, I will agree that there was a change in circumstances when he lost his job with In On Time. I don't know where it's employed now.
All right, thank you. I just that one piece is all I wanted to find out if we had an agreement so that we could move on to other factors, and we don't have to address that prima facie introductory sort of issue. All right, Ms. Selesnik.
Okay, just for background information, very short, I'm gonna just ask, Mr. Herma a few questions.
All right, Mr. Herma, would you raise your right hand?
Mr. Herma, at the time the judgment of divorce was entered on August 19th of 2024, what income was available to you at that time?
I was driving for in-on-time trucking. The wage would vary a bit. It wasn't salary, but it was usually in the mid-70s.
Okay, and are you talking that as 70,000 a year?
Correct, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to turn your attention to one of the exhibits that we have. Let me get. All right, so Mr. Herma, do you see the document that's presented on the screen here?
I do.
And can you describe to me what this document is?
Looks like a W-2.
And what tax year is this W-2 for?
I can't see the tax year. 24.
Okay. And so
I just want to interrupt and say, make sure that you don't show his social security number.
oh
so-
shoot, Judge, okay.
As long as you scroll down, I think you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
It was that. Yeah. Now you
Yep.
can see it. So scroll
All
back
right.
up. There we
Okay.
go.
Yep.
Keep going.
Thank you,
Keep
Judge.
going.
You can still see it?
Yeah, that was 2024.
All right.
Yeah.
So your 2024 income from In On Time LLC, what did you make?
2024 was 68,160.
All right. So now was this income for the entire 2024 tax year?
No, that income is down from the previous year because I was let go in mid-November.
Okay. What date in November, if you can recall, were you let go from In On Time?
It was a trucking safety issue.
What time, what date do you recall when you were let go?
It was around November 17, somewhere in there.
Okay. I'm gonna share with you right here, exhibit letter J, okay?
Yeah,
So do you recognize this document, Mr. Herma?
I do. That was the
And
release letter.
what is this document?
That was the release letter from the company dated November 22nd of 24.
Okay. And you provided me this document for use in today's hearing, is that correct?
I did.
Okay, I'm gonna motion to, or strike that. Is there any changes that have been made to this document?
No.
All right, I'm gonna motion to admit exhibit J.
Any objection, Mr. Wrigley?
No objection. I thought the stipulation was that we submitted all the exhibits and they were deemed admitted unless we had filed an objection. So I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking about that.
And that's fine. And again, I think there was a stipulation that he lost his job. So I'm just trying not to waste time here. So
No, me neither.
I mean,
Okay,
if you need it for some other purpose, that's fine. I'll admit it. But
okay, I
All
do.
right.
So,
okay, all right.
Is
admitted.
J admitted, Your Honor?
Yes, and as Mr. Wrigley stated, my order after settlement conference did indicate if there were no objections filed, that they were deemed admitted. So I don't think we have to go through that.
Right.
Beautiful. Okay,
Okay.
so on November 22nd, 2024, you received a letter from In On Time LLC, correct?
I did.
And this letter, what was the purpose of this letter, Mr. Herma?
This was the letter letting me know that, well, I'll just read it after careful consideration.
No, just tell me what it was. What were they doing?
It was a release letter, getting fired.
Okay, why is it that you were let go? What was the reason you were let go from In On Time LLC?
Trucking accident.
Okay. Now, so the income that you made during the 2024 tax year, the 68,000, is there any other income that was available to you during the 2024 tax year?
Not regular income, but I made a couple of dollars while trucking, working for doing a side job.
Okay, now what side job did you do?
Valley City Linen.
What did you do for Valley City Linen?
Well, I'm an arborist by trade, and I would spend 2 hours at their docks being unloaded and reloaded, and I noticed their place was way overgrown and just a mess. And so I talked to the owner and said, I'm here for 2 hours a day. If you'd like, I'll bring some pruning sticks and go through your property and clean it up. And so
And how much did you make from that? From that?
They paid me in 2 payments because it took all summer to go through it. I think the first check was maybe around 1,400 and the other check somewhere around 2,500.
Okay. And are you under any sort of contract for continued work with Valley City Linen?
No, that was just a one-time deal that just happened to work out.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what
Do you
was
have
the second? Hold on. I'm sorry. What was the second check amount?
I think around $2,500.
Thank you. I just didn't hear that.
Exhibit 5 of ours is 2,400. I'll agree it was 2,400.
Okay.
Now, did you also work for the city of Grand Rapids?
I did. I am an election inspector, so I helped with the elections.
And how often do you participate in that type of employment?
And that was just a couple of days. And I would think with every election coming up, if they need help, I'll help.
Okay, how much did you make from your work as an election inspector?
Maybe, I don't know, it seemed like $260 or something.
Okay, are you under contract with Grand Rapids or any other polling location as
No,
a election inspector?
no, it's all volunteer.
Okay, so what other income do you receive, or what other funds do you receive monthly?
Currently, it is unemployment and Social Security.
All right, so unemployment, how much do you make weekly from unemployment?
The weekly check I've been approved for is $362. After friend of the court takes their share for Mary, I get $133 a week.
Oh. So I'm going to share with you what is marked as Exhibit F. Do you recognize this document?
Yeah.
What is this document?
Unemployment.
Okay, I'm going to motion to admit F if it's not already admitted, Your Honor.
Well, again, anything that was submitted and not objected to is deemed admitted.
Okay, so based on this exhibit, you earn $362 per week. Is that correct from unemployment?
Correct.
And did you receive this unemployment as a result of being terminated from In On Time LLC?
Yes, I did qualify, and there was not a withholding period.
Okay. When did you, based on this spreadsheet, when did you start receiving benefits through unemployment?
November 23.
Okay, I see where you're
Oh,
from.
wait,
What
no,
was the
it's
month
2
of your
weeks ineligible.
first pay? What's that?
No, December 7.
All right, and so each week you're paid this amount, is that correct?
Each week I was paid what amount?
Are you paid $362 each week?
That's credited in my account. What I receive is $133.99.
Okay, and are there withholdings from, are there any monies withheld from your benefits that you receive from unemployment?
Yes, as you can see in their records, $228.01. Friend of the court takes.
And what is that payment for?
That is for Mary for the spousal support.
Okay. Are you going to be receiving any increased money that you're aware of in the near future with?
No, that's the max that based on my income that's allowable.
Okay. Have you received any notification or information from unemployment indicating that you'll be receiving an additional benefit above and beyond the $362 a week?
No.
Okay. And how long will you be eligible to receive this benefit?
I believe till September, unless I can find some work.
Okay. As a result of you receiving unemployment benefits, what do you have to do in order to continue receiving benefits?
I have to apply for work weekly and show that to them. Otherwise, I would not qualify.
Now, since losing your employment through In On Time LLC, how have you sent out any applications for employment?
I have several phone interviews as well,
Okay.
but not had any callbacks.
All right. What type of job opportunities have you been applying for?
Mainly driving, that's what I'm familiar with, or I've contacted some of the local tree services, especially targeting some of the new upstarts, and introduced myself. Our company is known in the area, and offered to help them if they got behind, needed help with either estimating or consulting, but nothing has manifested.
Okay. Along with your sending out applications, are there any other requirements that you are responsible for completing in order to receive benefits through unemployment?
I can take classes through Michigan Works, so I've been working closely with them. They've been trying to find something that would apply, and so far we don't have anything.
Okay, so since losing your job at In On Time or your employment at In On Time in November of 2024, have you had any job offers?
No,
Okay, so you have not declined any opportunities for employment since November of 2024?
no,
All right. So do you also receive Social Security benefits?
I do.
How much do you receive in Social Security benefits?
My take home after taxes and paying for the insurance is $2,094, I believe.
Okay, so I'm going to just share with you very quickly what we have marked as Exhibit G. So do you recognize this document, Mr. Herma?
Yep, that's from the Social Security office.
Okay, so what is the amount that you receive deposited into your account each month for Social Security?
$2,094.30.
Okay. So outside of your Social Security benefits of $2,094.30 and your employment benefits of $362, do you receive any additional or any other income?
No,
Okay. And I'm going to turn our attention to your budget. Okay. So just, I'm so sorry about my dog. Can you hear the dog barking?
A little bit, but it's not interfering. It's fine.
Okay. She's behind 2 doors, but she's still managing.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. So each month you have listed a budget here, Mr. Herma, is that correct?
correct.
All right. So where is it so tell me about your living conditions. Where are you living?
I am renting a duplex in Hudsonville.
Okay. And describe that rental property to me.
Well, it's a 3-bedroom unit. It's just a basic, there's one bedroom down the basement and 2 on the main floor, which I share with a friend, Harry Wilson.
And are you on the lease? So when you secured this rental property, did you secure the rental property along with a second person, another roommate?
Yes, we're both on the lease.
Okay. What is the monthly rent obligation?
$1,600.
Okay. Is there any agreement between you and Harry of who pays what amount each month associated with the rental payment?
Yeah.
Actually, Your Honor, and it calls for hearsay.
I don't think
Well,
so.
I think he can. I'll overrule. I'll allow him as long as he doesn't say what his roommate says. I think it's okay. He can testify to what he understands the agreement is.
Okay. Harry is on disability of $1,100 a month. At the time that we did this, I was working at In On Time. And so I told him I'd take the lion's share of the weight, and he pays $600
Okay.
for that.
All right. So your rent, how much do you pay for the rent then each month?
$1,200.
Okay. So you said your rent, I want to clarify with you, Mr. Herma, how much is the overall rental obligation?
The rental obligation is $1,600.
Okay. And you said that he pays $600.
Correct.
So how do we get $1,200?
Some of that is his portion toward utilities.
Okay. So you pay $1,000 each month towards your rental obligation. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And are you also responsible for utilities?
Yeah.
What utilities are you responsible for?
Gas, electric, and then internet. I don't know if you'd call it a necessary, but we've got the cheapest internet and TV we could get.
Okay. And so do you and your roommate share the costs associated with utilities and the internet and trash?
Yeah.
Okay. So the amounts that are listed on your budget here marked as Exhibit T. So is this a reflection of the amounts that you pay? So if we're looking at the rent, now you said that the utilities are built into this, or is there a separate? So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. with the 600, technically that maybe that utility line, that literally could be adjusted out, because the 1,200 will cover the rent payment and my portion toward utilities.
Okay, so when you pay $1,200 a month, a portion of that is for your gas and electric.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Now, you'll also pay the internet, is that correct?
correct,
And trash?
correct.
All right, these are accurate portions of your responsibility for those particular expenses, correct?
Correct.
Now, since losing your employment and on time, are there adjustments that you have made to your monthly budget to ensure that you're maintaining, your expenses within your budget?
I'm sorry, say that again.
So since losing your employment on time, are there any adjustments that you have made to your monthly budget?
Yeah. Take $75,000 out of your income and see what happens, So I have found that, well, I don't go out to eat. I used to go out and eat a lot. I don't go to movies. I used to take my son Todd to a movie at least once a week. Everything I do is now biking, hiking, canoeing, camping. Don't go to motels or condos. All these things are free or very inexpensive. It's actually a healthier way to live. I have found that this is a secret for everybody, the family fare grocery stores has a freezer, a little chest freezer. Every one of them do. And there's an area for what's called manager's special. And they will put out a day or two before the due date of meat that has not sold. One of the stores will give 30% discount, one 40% discount, and there's one of them that gives a 50% discount on meat. So I am pretty diligent to check the discounted food stores there, and have even hit a couple of food pantries. So that's been, yeah, I mean, we just radically changed the lifestyle.
Okay, so here you list your groceries and going out, you mentioned here that you go out to eat. So between a combined monthly food bill for you is $340. Is
Roughly,
that accurate?
yeah.
Now you've reviewed Miss Herma's food expense, is that correct?
I've seen it.
Okay.
That's a lot, but I mean,
So have you had to make adjustments to accommodate your spousal support obligation?
yeah. Well, and currently with what I'm currently making, there's no way that there's no way. There's nothing in this budget. Matter of fact, this is even a little bit behind. Unemployment, if I had the whole unemployment check, it could just squeak in there. As it is, that's even a little bit short with what's there. But
So I'm
Yeah.
going to stop you there. Based on the income that you are receiving from Social Security and unemployment, which is about to end in September of 2025,
right,
you bring in a total of 200. Well, wait, hold on. Let me see. Get that weekly. So you get a total of $3,662 a month if we take your unemployment of $1,568.66 each month, plus your $2,094.30 per month. Is that
well, that's if I was able to have the full unemployment, I could just barely make my budget.
Right.
But I don't get that much.
right? So less the spousal support obligation, you would be able to attribute $3,662, correct?
Correct.
But with the spousal support obligation, you only have $2,662 available to pay your expenses. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
So when we do that, when we take the 3,662 and we minus $1,000, that gives you 2,662. Your monthly budget each month is 3,281. And then we'll minus that 100 because you did acknowledge that that was a little bit off. That leaves your monthly budget at 3,181. Then we take so you take the 2,662 and then you minus your monthly budget of 3,181. Is it accurate to say that you are negative or in the hole $519 each month to cover your basic necessities?
About it.
So one of the spousal support factors is your ability to pay spousal support.
Correct.
Based on the current circumstances that you're facing financially, are you able to continue to pay Ms. Herma $1,000 per month?
I don't know where it'd come from. There's no way.
Okay. So once unemployment, I mean, you anticipate or expect unemployment benefits to end, correct?
Correct. I'm still knocking on doors. I've got to find something to supplement, you know, $200, $300, $400 if I can.
So
I haven't tried a greeter at Walmart. That would be the end thing, as long as I'm still getting unemployment.
okay. So you're asking the court to put your spousal support amount to 0, correct?
I am.
Okay. Now, are there any, so what happens, what do you do to make up for the $519 shortfall each month?
I've used some of my own savings funds.
Okay. With the divorce, you and Miss Herma divided equally the marital estate, correct?
We did.
All right. Part of the marital estate that you received, part of your share of the marital estate, is it true that you purchased some interest in building In On Time LLC?
I did.
Tell me about that.
It's a program that's open to employees when there is an opening. And so there's a waiting list. And when one of the guys retires and he leaves that program, that opens the door for others to step in. And I was offered that opportunity and I put $5,000 into it. But when I lost my job, it was mandatory. They took me out of the program.
Okay. So you are no longer, and you received payment for that. You received the money back, correct?
Yeah, that one went against a credit card payment.
All right. How much did you receive back?
Seemed like it was about $7,000.
How much did you put into it?
$5,000.
So you earned $2,000 over how much of a period of time?
In about a couple of years, somewhere in there.
Like, give me how many years did you participate in building In On Time LLC?
Well, I was there 2.5 years, and maybe 6, 7, 8 months in, they offered me.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what year I stepped in, but it'd be around there.
Okay. So you use whatever profits you earned from building In On Time LLC. Correct.
Yeah. And I have a growing credit card debt.
Okay. Now, you were participating in something called LifeWave, is that correct?
That is correct.
And are you participating in that program anymore?
I am no longer a member with LifeWave.
Mr. Herma, how old are you?
I will be 72 in June.
How old's Miss Herma?
She is 69.
Okay. And describe to me your health. So in August 19, 2024, health was a portion of the negotiations. Now, tell me, has there been any changes to your health since August 19th of 2024?
Well, I had a knee replacement back then. And I mean, I used to hire people. And the sad thing is, someone at my age and with my stuff, you make a mental note, but you can't openly say that to anybody. And I'm certain that's what I'm banging into. So I've had a knee replacement. I'm currently seeing an eye specialist for a double vision issue, and I have to wear hearing aids to drive now.
Okay. So the hearing aids and the double vision are of a new medical issue
That's
for
new.
you.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And then,
Oh, and I'm on high blood pressure medicine now. And that affects your you've got to be tested annually instead of every 2 years for your medical with a DOT license. They take that pretty serious.
are you planning on being eligible to receive a job in driving?
Well, I've tried, but nobody seems to. I haven't gotten any responses.
So if you were looking for a job or were employed, you don't see that you would be offered an employment opportunity that would be above and beyond minimum wage. Is that accurate?
I'm not finding anything yet, and I've got Michigan Works working on it.
Okay. Based on the review of Mary's budget or her monthly budget, do you consider her living or lifestyle living above and beyond her means?
Well, I don't know that I'm set to judging that. I'm just saying, I mean, when you look at it, it looks like she's spending more to live than I am. It looks like to me.
And you're pretty familiar with her work at Herma House, is that accurate?
Pretty much.
Okay. And do you believe, based on the information that you've been provided and her income that she receives from Herma House, do you believe that the amount that Mary earns is accounting for the full extent of her earning abilities at Herma House?
Well, there seemed to be a little bit of a discrepancy when, based on the records that she gave us, and she said she removed everything that was personal, and therefore everything remaining should have been work related. And unless she noted that there was an hour session with someone, the average session is 2 hours. And I know that very well because I have sponsored people when I was working and had the funds to do it. People that needed help, I would sponsor, and the rate's $75 an hour. The average session's $150. And so I just did the math on all the hours she showed there, and I came up with, I think, 19,000, and I think she mentioned it was 14,000. So that's all I can say on that. That's how I found
Okay.
that.
But do you think that she has the capability or ability to earn additional income above and beyond what she's earning now?
Well, totally. Every job has every line of work has the ability to grow and increase. Over the years, Mary has never showed an interest in growing and increasing. And over the years, having been in business, I had offered and suggested that, she market herself. There's a whole world of hurting people. How many people do you know that are afraid, that are traumatized, that are angry, upset? I mean, the world is waiting. So, I mean, the market is there, but whether you choose to expand into that market, that's a personal choice, and I can't attest to that. But I mean, yes, there's totally room for upward growth if you want to do it.
So based on your financial means, do you believe that you are living within your financial means?
Barely.
Okay. Based on Mary's or Miss Herma's financial means, do you believe that she is living within her financial means?
I don't think so.
Are you able to continue to pay the $1,000 a month in spousal support?
Yeah, there's, I don't know where it come from.
What are you asking the court to do, Mr. Herma?
Bring the spousal support to zero. There's just, even, that when you look at my budget and what I'm getting, I mean, there's nothing for anything anywhere.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Wrigley.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Mr. Herma, do you currently still have your CDL license?
I do.
So all of these issues that you're describing in your health have not affected your ability to have a CDL license, correct?
I had my CDL license as that came about. The issue is safety, which is on
Just,
the record.
Your Honor, I would just ask that he answer the question.
Yeah, Mr. Herma, just ask, this is cross-examination, so you really should be saying yes or no, or I don't know.
Thank you.
And then your attorney will have the opportunity to give you, or will give you the opportunity to explain further your answers. But when Mr. Wrigley's asking you the questions, try to be brief and to the point, okay?
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Wrigley.
So, Mr. Herma, you just got through describing what you thought Rema House could do, ability to increase and go well beyond what she's at now. Doesn't that describe yourself as well? Your ability to go get a job, not just make a call to solve your matter with the unemployment agency.
I'm open to suggestions.
So you have the
Do you
ability
have an
to go
opening?
do it. So
Do
you're
you have
going
an
to go
opening?
do it.
Mr. Herma, the two of you can't talk at the same time. And again, please just answer his question.
Okay.
And
So-
don't ask a question as an answer to a question, all right?
So you have the ability to increase your intake at this point, your income, correct?
I don't think so.
Why not?
No one's hiring.
Now, Mr. Herma, as I understand, do you have Exhibit 7 in front of you? Exhibit 7 is the assignment of membership interest. Do you have that in front of you?
I don't see it.
In fact,
Mr. Wrigley, are you going to screen share?
I don't have the ability to do that. I'm sorry. Everybody has these exhibits.
But if you want it in the record, it really needs to be screen shared.
They've all been admitted into the record, Your Honor, when we sent them in.
I understand, but
All right.
it's with Zoom hearings, it's very helpful to have it on the screen so we're all looking at the same thing at the same time. So, Mr. Herma, you do not have any of the exhibits in front of you?
No.
All right. So let me describe it to you, Mr. Herman, and your counsel can decide. Exhibit 7 is the assignment of the membership interest where you sold your interest in the in-on-time building. In fact, the amount you received there was $7,827.72. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that was a return of capital plus profit.
Correct.
That was received this calendar year, 2025, correct?
Correct.
Now, Mr. Herma, your Social Security monthly, the base amount is $2,824.90. Is that correct?
Correct.
And out of that, you indicate there is health insurance withdrawn.
Correct.
And is that amount $185?
That would be Plan B.
Okay. So 2,824 less 185 means you are withholding taxes of about $650 a month. Would that be fair?
I'm going to object. We have shown on the screen an exhibit that shows the amount that the Social Security deposits into Mr. Herma's account. Mr. Wrigley's intentions are unknown, but I would say that he's trying to misrepresent a document that is a federal document given to a recipient of Social Security income. So I would ask that the court not allow this questioning to continue unless he's going to properly represent the Social Security statement that I have set forth in Exhibit G.
Your Honor, first of all, in the discovery materials that they provided information from which I'm referring. Secondly, what I'm getting at is that Mr. Herma testified that he received a certain amount in Social Security deposited into his account. He indicated that portion of it was medical and the other part was all tax withholding. I've just had him identify that $185 is medical. That means that approximately $640 is income tax withholding. I just want him to verify that.
I don't know what the difference is in income tax withholding. I asked to make the maximum that you can withhold, and I got a statement from Social Security that they were going to actually give me less because they withhold based on your income. So more than Plan B. They hold back, and I showed them my letter that I was dismissed. It changed my revenue, which allowed them to give me more. My Social Security would have been $1,800, but since losing my job, so there's something they do withhold, which is Plan B is for everybody, but they hold out a higher amount based on your income. So when my income dropped, they gave me another $200 a month. That's not taxes, that's their end.
Mr. Herma, why would you be withholding $600 and some a month, which would represent almost 25% of your Social Security monthly principal when you don't even have a job? You're not going to be in the 20.
I don't want to pay taxes. That was set up when I started withdrawing Social Security.
So you're actually banking money with the Social Security with withholding. Is that correct?
I have not been without a job and filed. I don't know what this year is going to be.
You're over with.
I don't know.
Oh, so you might.
Mr. Wrigley, I think you've made your point.
Okay.
So.
Now, Mr. Herma, as I understand from your counsel, your income right now is $2,662 a month, and you claim that your expenses are $3,181, and this is after that amount is being paid to Mary, which would left you, as my notes show, $519 in the hole per month. Now, is that correct?
I'm going to ask a question. It's not a question. He's not asking a question. Mr. Wrigley's testifying, Your Honor.
I just
Well,
asked,
it is cross-examination, but you do need to get to a question, Mr. Wrigley.
that's why I said I asked him if that was correct.
Correct.
Did I correctly reiterate what she said?
Correct.
All right. Now, in your answers to interrogatory number 5, which related to where do you currently reside and who currently resides with you, and keep in mind these were answered in February 7 of this year.
Mm-hmm.
The question was, who else has lived with you since August 19, 2024? Your answer is Harry Wilson and John Lane. Mr. Herma, you didn't mention John Lane earlier, did you?
No, John Lane hasn't been here for a
Just
month.
answer
and a half.
yes or no, Your Honor.
John hasn't been here for a month and a half.
Mr. Herma, yes or no, or I don't know. Okay.
No.
Again, your attorney will let you explain, but we're never going to get through this
All right.
if you keep trying to explain yourself.
Your answer was Harry is responsible for a portion of the rent. John is not paying any set amount, but his mom will transfer funds for his living arrangements. Is that correct?
On occasion, she has, yes.
Do Do you have any indication as to have you provided any indication as to how much Mr. Wilson and or Mr. Lane have contributed to these living arrangements?
Yes.
Where is that?
Harry pays 600. John's mother sends some funds when she can. But currently John is not here.
John coming back?
No.
Mr. Herma, you have a LMCU credit union checking account. It was established for purposes of joint funds to pay for this rental. Is that correct?
Do.
And you are in charge of that. Is that right?
I am.
So when you put on your deposits certain amounts, for example, 11/4/24 deposit transfer from Herma, Douglas, December rent deposit, $300.
Okay.
That was yours, correct?
Correct. Portion.
You paid 300.
That wasn't.
I've looked at your LMCU credit account, and I don't find it any other except on 11/20, where it is referenced you paid 150. So that would be $450 a month in rent.
If you check every deposit, there's not a notation. I don't note every time. It's not consistent.
Now, Mr. Herma, in connection with your budget, T, Exhibit T, you've indicated, well, let me do this. You've indicated on it that there is a credit card debt.
Correct.
All right. Doesn't the credit card actually represent when you go out to eat, you charge, when you go to the gas station, you charge gas, when you go to the oil and gas, you charge credit card, you charge when you go to vehicle maintenance, you charge when you go to the grocery stores, to the convenience stores. Isn't that correct, Mr. Herma?
Not normally.
So that the $400 really represents things that are on your other line items here, represented by costs and expenses. Aren't you really double dipping, Mr. Herma?
No.
You charge these items and now you want to claim them as a credit card as well?
No.
No what?
Would you like an explanation?
I'm going to ask you another question. I'm going to ask it again, Mr. Herma. You've charged these expenses. Now you want to claim it's credit card debt.
No.
Okay. That's your answer. So if I understand correctly, Mr. Herma, you being $519 in the hole each month is after Mary has received her spousal support.
Correct.
And is she receiving at this time $1,000 a month, Mr. Herma?
She's receiving whatever the friend of the court is taking out because that was their responsibility.
So if I told you she receives $362 every 2 weeks, thereabouts, that would not be $1,000 a month, would it?
So friend
Well,
of the
Your
court-
Honor, I would object to this as this would almost be speculation. This is not, there's no evidence in the record that of anything that Mr. Wrigley is now testifying about.
I'm not testifying. I'm asking me a question.
So this is asking for information that is not in the record, Your Honor.
Mr. Herma has testified regarding his unemployment.
I'll overrule the objection.
Thank you. So, Mr. Herma, she's really not receiving $1,000 a month at this time, is she?
I would assume not. That's what this is about.
Let me look at my notes, Your Honor, if I might take just a second. We'll see if whether or not I'm done with Mr.
Sure.
Herma at this time. Mr. Herma,
Yes, sir.
during 2024, you received various tax refunds. Is that correct? Relating to tax years 2021 and 2022.
I'm going to object to this as irrelevant.
It goes to his character, goes to
I'm,
his.
I'm
Right.
sorry, I didn't hear the first part of the question. If you could repeat it, Mr. Wrigley.
Mr. Herma, during calendar year 2024, you received
2024.
2024.
right?
Yes.
Thank you. All right.
Sorry. I'm sorry. 2024, you received tax refunds relating to calendar years 2020 and 2021. Is that correct?
I believe it was 2021.
But I'm going to object as irrelevant because I don't know the relevancy of this question.
Goes to his veracity.
I'm going to allow it. I'm going to allow it, and let's just move on.
Mr. Herma, if I indicate to you that on November 13, 2024, 2024, in your account, checking account 4660, you received Grand Rapids tax refund 2020 of $18. You received Grand Rapids tax refund, same date, 2021 for $22. Is that correct?
A long time ago, but if you say so.
Okay. And your counsel yesterday indicated that you have received a 2020 tax refund for which you owe Ms. Herma $390 some. I'll find the amount. It came in an email from your counsel. I'm sure you saw it. Did you see it?
Yeah, I submitted that.
Okay. And when did you receive that?
I'm not sure. Several months ago.
And you have not paid to Mary Herma, my client, the amounts that are owed to her, as correct?
I have not yet. We have other funds coming in. I was going to settle it then.
Mr. Herma requires you to provide the refund shall be equally divided by the parties. If I read the judgment of correct, judgment of divorce, page 5. Is that correct?
Right?
I'm going to object to the relevancy of this, Your Honor. This is a whole nother issue that Mr. Wrigley's trying to open up that goes above and beyond the tax the motion that I have pending. This matter is not before you. And I'm asking the court to disregard Mr. Wrigley's questioning and my client's answers. It's not relevant. There are side issues that are not before the court today, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Selesnik. Mr. Wrigley.
Your Honor, Mr. Herma comes to this court asking that equity be done. His request is for equity. In order to do equity, you've got to do equity. He is withholding intentionally these tax refunds that he's had for 4 or 5 months. And he is going to
All
come.
right. I will overrule the objection. I think it goes to available monies for spousal support, so I will allow it.
Thank you.
But we do need to move on.
I understand, and I understand we have a hard stop at 1:30 or 3:30. I understood. No further questions.
Thank you. Ms. Selesnik,
Thank
let me redirect.
Yes. All right. Okay. So we've already touched on the assignment of the membership of Building It On Time LLC. So the addition, you indicated before that you invested $5,000, correct?
Right.
And you received in turn, when you were terminated from an On Time LLC, an amount. to terminate your membership in Building and On Time LLC, correct?
Correct.
The amount that you received, Mr. Wrigley stated, was $7,782. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you testified before that you used the additional funds to pay off your credit card bills, correct?
Correct.
After the divorce was final in August, did you have monies that you still owed to your credit cards related to litigation expenses or attorney fees?
Yes.
Did you use those money, the money that you received from Building and On Time LLC to pay your attorney fees?
Yes.
All right. In addition, during the divorce proceedings, did you give Miss Herma an additional $11,000 above and beyond that would otherwise?
Objection, Your Honor. We're talking all about. We're now
Well,
going.
if you're allowed to do it, I'm allowed to.
All right,
do it.
Ms. Lesnick, we cannot
Sorry.
both talk at once, and he has the right to make an objection. Let him make the objection. I'll let you respond.
Your Honor, I'm objecting based on the fact that we're going back to August 19th when this judgment was entered. If we're going to go recut the deal, then everything on the table is open. She's asking about things that were done well before the judgment was ever entered. The case was pending for almost 2 years. Not sure the relevancy of this at all,
Ms.
particularly
Lesnick?
in relation to her motion.
Well, the problem is, Your Honor, is that there were additional funds above and beyond what would be otherwise an equitable division of the marital estate. Your Honor is aware of that. Mr. Wrigley wants to open doors to things that were happening in the 2020, 2021 relating to tax issues. I think it's appropriate for me then to be able to open a door that she did have available funds to her.
All right. Mr. Wrigley's objection earlier related to credibility. I'm not hearing that that's your motive here. If it is, fine. If not, then I'll sustain the objection.
I don't have a credibility argument on this witness, but if there's another witness called, I may have a credibility issue on that witness. So
That's fine.
Okay. So at the time you responded to your interrogatories, Mr. Herma, was there another individual that was living with you at your current residence?
Yes. John Lane.
Now, John, where is he now?
John is in the hospital and hopefully soon to be released to rehab.
Okay. Was there any contract or any sort of note in place that would require John to pay monies to live in the house when he stayed at the house?
No, that was Harry and I.
Okay. So the only two people that are responsible for paying for the housing expenses at your current residence is you and Harry, correct?
Correct.
All right. So now, Mr. Wrigley brought up an issue with a tax refund from 2021, correct?
Correct.
Now, tell me about the current status of your tax filing with Ms. Herma.
Objection, Your Honor. What relevancy does that have to this proceedings? Who cares about what they're going to do in 2025 or 2024? As a matter of fact, I bet they do.
Yeah. This is why Mr. Wrigley shouldn't have been asking this, because there's a lot of issues going on that he's fully aware of that's not before the court. So as far as the credibility,
I will allow it if it goes to credibility. That's it. I'm not going to go any further with it.
Thank you. So, Mr. Herma, you did receive a refund in a little over $300 that you owe to Ms. Herma. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you shared that information with Ms. Herma?
I don't believe I did. I'm
Well, you
waiting for
shared
the
through
dust.
counsel, correct? Through
Yes,
counsel.
I did with you. I'm waiting for the dust to settle. I have an appointment with the IRS to set down. We have 4 years that have been a mess, mainly from Mary's end. I only had a W-2. Our accountant in Traverse City, we think, got senile or something.
Objection, Your Honor. This doesn't go to credibility. It goes to a whole factual kind of anything relating to tax returns that they've already filed. Already been filed, already been submitted, already been accepted by the IRS.
That's the problem. That's the problem. We're not litigating this issue, Your Honor, and that's what Mr. Wrigley wanted to do.
All right, I'm going to strike all of it.
Thank you.
So move on.
All right. So Mr. Wrigley had asked you a question about your ability to increase your income, correct?
He did.
All right. So, Mr. Herma, if you could get a job, would you be getting a job?
Well, if I could, I would. I'm trying.
If you could get a job that would be sufficient to pay Mary or Miss Herma $1,000 a month, would you get that job?
In a heartbeat. Because there'd be way more left for me than that.
Okay. You've tried to get a job, correct?
Correct.
You have been submitting applications,
Correct.
correct?
Correct.
You've been submitting applications since you were terminated from an on-time LLC in November of 2024, correct?
Correct.
You haven't had anybody offer you any jobs, correct?
Not yet.
Miss Herma, however, is self-employed, correct?
Correct.
She evidences working approximately about 15 hours a week, correct?
As far as I know.
When she is when you're saying that she can work more, do you believe that Mary Herma is capable, both physically capable and business-wise capable of working above and beyond 15 hours a week?
If she wants to.
Okay. Based on what you see from her budget, her income of what you think that she's earning, she's not taking advantage of her abilities, correct?
Well, even from our history, she never has. She hasn't wanted to put more time in it than that. But that's her decision.
All right. All you're asking for is to stop the spousal support so that you can maintain your budget and living within your means, correct?
Yeah, there's no monies to, I mean, I don't know where it'd come from.
Okay. If there was a provision that Your Honor was able to put in an order that would say if you were able to secure employment similar to that you had previously at an on-time LLC, would you be willing to report that income if you received that income to the Kent County friend of the court?
I would.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Wrigley.
Mr. Herma, are you aware of paragraph 7 of the USSO, which requires you to report to the friend of the court all your sources of income, whether they're in on time or any other time?
First I've heard of it.
You signed the USSO, didn't you, in connection with the entry of the judgment?
I don't know.
I think your counsel will stipulate that you did. Do you stipulate to that, Ms. Zalesnik? Do you stipulate also, Ms. Zalesnik, that it requires that all sources of income be reported to the friend of the court?
Your Honor, I'm not going to, I would ask the court to not have me answer as a witness. I think that
I will take judicial notice of the orders that were entered by this court.
So, Mr. Herma, you have to report every source of income to the friend of the court. Is that correct?
I don't know.
If you don't know, say, yeah, fine, you don't know. Okay. I have no further questions.
Ms. Zalesnik,
no.
any further witnesses?
No.
All right. Mr. Wrigley.
Thank you, Your Honor. My witness will be the plaintiff, Mary Herma. I will call her to the stand in the virtual room.
Okay. Ms. Herma, if you would unmute and I will swear you in. You need to wait a minute, Mr. Wrigley. All right. Thank you.
Ms. Herma, please state for the record your full name.
Mary Eleanor Herma,
What is your age?
69,
Date of birth?
1956,
Where do you currently reside, Ms. Herma?
Kentwood, Michigan.
And how long have you lived there?
Since December of 22,
Would that be since this case was initiated?
pretty much, yep.
Are there any occupants other than you?
My dog, Max?
Anyone else?
No.
Do you own that unit?
I own a trailer mobile home that I bought in this summer of 23 from my son and my daughter-in-law.
And do you own that free and clear?
I do.
Ms. Herma, may I refer to and address you in the future as Mary?
Please do.
Mary, would you go to Exhibit 18, please? And I'd like you to address the line items 1 through 9. What are they? And describe those to the court if you would.
And if you could describe or label what the exhibit is that you're looking at. Again, I'm more accustomed to screen sharing, so I just need to figure out which one you're looking at.
18.
Okay, but just for the record, could you describe what that document is?
Can I show it to you on my camera? Does that help at all?
Okay, that's your budget?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you.
And the lines that Mr. Wrigley was asking me about, 1 through 9, are monthly expenses,
Thank you.
rent, utilities, etc.
Thank you.
And those relate to your residence, is that correct?
Yes,
Including an internet service for $161 a month.
yes.
All right. And these are your personal expenses. These are not expenses related to Herma House.
Not really, no. I do use my internet for Herma House purposes when I work from home.
But you'd have that internet service anyway
Yeah.
at home. If you did have,
I hope so. Yes,
do you have any dependents?
I do not. Max,
How long were you married to the defendant?
I'm gonna
25.
object to that as irrelevant.
It's one of the factors in the spousal support statute. Go ahead, Mr. Wrigley.
How long were you married to the defendant?
25 years.
Are you currently married?
Nope,
Are you currently engaged?
no,
Are you currently cohabitating with anyone?
no.
Please describe for the court your educational background, if you would, please.
I left high school and took a GED in 1974 and attended some junior college between Texas and California in the 70s and early 80s before I had my son.
Did you graduate from any college or university?
Did not.
Do you have any training post high school?
I have extensive training in my career track in prayer ministry, extensive training and interning, and I've been focused on it heavily since I was first introduced to it in 1998.
That would be about the time that you were married to Mr. Herma, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you been engaged in this prayer ministry service, consulting service during the time of your marriage to Mr. Herma?
Yes, sir.
Was he comfortable in you starting and going into that activity?
Yes,
Do you have any vocational licenses?
I do not.
You don't have an MSW or an LSSMW or anything like that?
Nope.
Do you have any special licenses, such like Mr. Herma, CDL, or welding, or any beautician, any licenses?
No.
Now, would you please describe to the court this prayer ministry consulting service that you have, so that she understands it?
I try to help people get a hold of their spirit self. They're a part of their humanity, closer to God, and find answers through scriptures and spiritual answers with God and peace therein.
Why did you start this?
Well, in 1998, I was first introduced to it, and through training and some ministry that I received, I got so much healing that I wanted to bring it to others. So I began to pursue greater understanding and even facilitating training for others. And yeah, it just sort of took off.
Are you currently in your office?
I am.
And Mr. Herma supported both emotionally and financially your prayer ministry, Herma House, while you were married.
He did.
Now, have you worked at this full-time or part-time?
Well, part-time.
And you say part-time. Please explain.
Well, I've never turned anyone down. In fact, I've given away as much time as I've charged for. The pro bono hours that I've given to people, the telephone time. I wish I could count those hours as billable hours or income hours, but there's just a lot of people that, like Doug said earlier, they need a lot of help. They're hurting people everywhere, but they don't all have cash. And I can't bill insurance because I'm not licensed. So, and a lot of people don't have insurance either. So the actual time that I spend with people that actually pay me would probably be a good week, 15 hours. I would love that. And my fee, by the way, is $70 an hour. I asked people for 70, not 75. That's for the record. I've considered 75, but so many people can't even afford the 70 that it's, and because I asked them for checks, I don't take credit cards. I know that they're using their funds. Once in a while, I can take a health savings account, but I haven't seen anybody do that in a long time.
So you do this approximately 15 hours a week.
Yeah.
Have you investigated the opportunity to expand?
Heavily. I've been trying to get references from friends at Calvary Church. I've started attending a ladies' Bible study there weekly to try to network and get referrals. I've been attending regularly, and I'm in the process of perhaps becoming a member at Grand Rapids First Assembly to gain some credibility and try to get referrals there. Doing what I can, the only way I know how is to meet people, tell them what I do, try to generate interest, and give them my card.
Mr. Herma suggested you have plenty of opportunity to go get new clients, customers. Is that accurate?
If I could, I sure would.
Have you invested? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I don't, yeah,
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
that's all right.
Have you investigated the opportunity to go into the internet and go onto social media and many other of the electronic medias that's available?
I went so far as to get a Facebook page some months ago, and I don't think I've given it a fair opportunity as far as recording reels and that sort of thing. I'm not real familiar with it and how to make it all work, but that's one thing. As far as internet, I don't know a lot about the internet. Like, I couldn't even give you a screenshot without holding up a piece of paper for you. So anyone who knows me knows I'm not very tech savvy. I wish I was. I'd love to do a podcast. I've talked to other people about doing podcasts, but it just hasn't really gone anywhere.
Have you investigated the cost of marketing, hiring marketing people?
I did, yes. One person wanted $500 an hour.
Are you able to pay that?
No.
Now, what is your present physical condition?
I'm in good physical condition, as far as I know.
Do you have any chronic illnesses?
No,
Any disabilities?
I do not.
As I recall, you reflect on your Exhibit 18, a charge for line item 25 chiropractor.
Chiropractic care has been a part of my life. Yes. Some neck and back issues that as long as I keep them addressed, I'm okay. If I let it go too long, I've had it where I couldn't even get off the floor because of sciatica so badly. I have a disc that wants to herniate. So I stay with chiropractic care regularly.
And this is an expense you pay, it's not through insurance.
Most of them don't take insurance, but mine doesn't, no.
I'd like you to look at exhibit number 2, if you would, please, and explain to the court what that is.
Mobile home insurance?
No, exhibit number 2.
I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm sorry.
You have you've got the book.
Exhibit number 2 is my personal monthly and Herma House monthly expenses.
All right. So exhibit number 2 includes your monthly Herma House expenses for your operation, for your consulting service. Is that correct?
Which line is that?
No, you're
Oh, just overall, yes, yes. Well, I don't see my office rent in this Herma House expenses. Oh, not office rent, sorry. Okay.
I believe it's shown on another exhibit. Office rent. What is your office rent?
$500 a month.
I'd like you to go to exhibit 22, if you would, please.
This is Herma House gross income, August 2024 through March of 25.
And did you put those numbers together? Let me step back. Exhibit 22, what does that represent on a monthly basis?
My gross deposits for those months.
Were copies of the underlying monthly statements sent to counsel in response to discovery requests?
To the best of my knowledge.
If I look at this, it varies from month to month.
It sure does.
Can you have any explanation for that?
Not really. Usually after Christmas time, people have had enough of their families and resurfacing of wounds that I get a little busier just after the holidays. Generally, summertime slows down again. Why October took that gross dip, I have no idea. I do believe that my income has dropped because of the divorce. You know, because I do minister primarily to believers, or people are willing to explore believer lifestyle. They're not willing to embrace a divorcee to counsel them on how to save their marriage. So I believe that the divorce and the rumors of the divorce have adversely affected my referrals, certainly from Resurrection Life Church and Ada Bible Church, which were 2 big sources of some of my referrals over the years in relationships.
You indicate that the figures that are on exhibit 22 are based on deposits into an account.
My Herma House business account, yes.
Do you receive anything in consideration other than those deposits, whether it be cash, whether it be some kind of consideration, somebody doing something for your house? Are there other considerations besides what you just deposited into that account?
I have one client who most often pays in cash. She comes about once every 4 to 6 weeks. And she occasionally writes checks, but she most often pays cash, and I don't deposit the cash. In fact, I use it as an offset to balance out some of the many hours that I give away, can't bill for, and can't write off taxes because I'm not licensed. So I balance it out. In fact, it's not a balance, but as far as being able to barter for, home repairs and that sort of thing, I've had the offer, but I don't take advantage of it. Bartering doesn't help. You need money to buy gasoline. You can't barter outside of, it doesn't work for me.
You said an individual does pay you sometimes in cash. You've shown here on Exhibit 22, 8 months. Do you have any idea of how many months, how many times that particular client visited with you?
Probably
Cash.
6 or 7 times in 8 months.
And how
she
much?
would give me $140, the $70 an hour that I mentioned, cash.
So that exhibit number 22 is really not true gross income. We'd have to add to it the cash that you received.
Yeah, yeah.
And you said that is somewhere $600, $800.
I would say 7 times 140 in those 8 months. Plus, there would have been a check that was deposited, so make it 6 times 140. Oh, of course, I deposit the checks, don't cash the check. So it'd be 6 times 140, it'd be 6 to 40, 840.
I need you to go back to Exhibit 18, if you would, please. We covered line items 1 through 9.
Yes.
These are your personal monthly expenses.
Yes.
And you've gone through these and you believe that these numbers are fair and accurate for each of the line items that are there.
To the best of my knowledge, they're very accurate and even below actual expenditure.
How did you arrive at these numbers?
I lived the life and looked at it, especially over a year and then dividing it by 12.
So you believe they're fair and accurate for your current expenses?
I do. Like I said, I believe they're below actual costs. I'm looking at medical, dental. I just spent $1,700, $1,680 on one crown. That doesn't count cleaning, x-rays, da-di-da-di-da-di. That's just the crown. So we could take that and divide it by 12 and come up with considerably more for dental.
Are there other major expenses that are not shown?
No, sir.
No. You show income tax preparation or deductibles?
I don't, well, no, I don't have the bill yet for the insurance taxes that I just filed yesterday.
That would be for 2024, 2024.
Okay.
Now I'd like you to go to exhibit number 19, if you would, please. Do you have it in front of you?
Yes, sir.
And what is exhibit 19?
This is my sources of income. Mary Herma, sources of income being Social Security, Herma House, LifeWave, and interest on my little savings account where I took the equity from our sale, our estate. Was that it? Is earning $173 a year and 33 cents.
All right, so going through this, line item number 1, Social Security. Is your base amount $1,705?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
And the deductions of $185 are for what?
Medicare.
So your net is $1,520 per month.
Yes.
Is that the amount that is deposited monthly at this time into your checking account?
I believe so. They just raised it, so that's a new number, but yeah, I believe that's right.
Number 2, line 2, Herma House. You're showing $1,318.18 A, being the average of gross revenue.
Yes.
You're showing a rent office rent of 500.
Yes,
So your net, other than payment of expenses that might be shown on Exhibit 2, is $818.18 a month.
yes,
So it really does, it adds to your income. It's not a drain and a loss.
correct.
You really need to continue Rema House.
Oh, absolutely.
Number 3, you indicate interest of a certain amount. Do you have a CD at United Bank?
Yes, I do.
And that is the amount of $52,000?
It is.
And it's now currently receiving 4%.
Yes, it is.
And where did that $52,000 come from?
It's the balance of the 136,000 that I got from the sale of our home when we split up.
And would that have been in 2022?
Yes, sir. I think we closed on the sale of that house in 2023. It could have been 2022. Yeah, the end of 2022.
At or about the approximate time this divorce case got started?
Yes, sir.
And you've been able to retain that amount?
The 52,000?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is that your retirement amount?
That's it. That's my entire savings. Yeah.
You indicate on line 4 a life wave. You receive a small amount each month.
Yes.
Okay. You have any other securities accounts or retirement accounts? Do you have any, I should say, any retirement accounts or?
I have a Roth with Gold Star.
And how much is in that?
It fluctuates with the price of gold. The last time I checked, it was 17 and some change.
That's not $17, you mean
No,
17?
17,000 and so, yeah, up from 14,000 in 2021.
You have any other retirement or savings accounts?
No, sir.
Any other financial accounts where you're invested in businesses or land deals?
No.
Want to refer you to exhibits 20. You have that in front of you?
I do. This is my monthly cash flow.
Is that excluding?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I said, is that the one excluding Rema House, exhibit 20?
Monthly income before taxes and yes, excluding Herma House. Yes, sir.
All right. So looking at this, you have a number for monthly income before taxes. And does that relate to the exhibit 19 that shows where your income is? Keep 19 in front of you.
Yes, sir.
All right. So that would be the 1948.33 would be the Social Security, the interest, and LifeWay on a monthly basis.
Yes, sir. $1,948.33.
All right. We would deduct from that your 4,316, which you indicate as your monthly expenses, which would show a shortfall before payment of taxes of 2,367.
Yes, sir. And 67 cents.
And if you had the $1,000 a month in spousal support, which you had been receiving,
Yes.
you would still be at a loss. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
right? You're not asking this court to increase the 1,000.
No.
Look at exhibit 21, please.
Cash flow, including Herma House.
All right. Yes, that's exhibit 21. All right. You have a net monthly income shown here of $25,8151, which relates to exhibit 19, correct?
Yes.
for those four items. You
Yes,
have
sir.
your month, you have your monthly personal and expenses, which would include Rema House, 4481, and your shortfall, if you do have Rema House operating the way it is right now, would have a shortfall of approximately $1,900 a month.
Yes, sir.
That's what you're incurring right now,
Yes, sir.
other than you are receiving spousal support through Mr. Herma's unemployment at this time.
Yes, sir. I think it's 720 and some change a month.
month?
Per month from his unemployment since he lost his job. They were collecting and paying 1,000 a month faithfully. And then when he started collecting unemployment, they started paying $362 and some change every 2 weeks. So it'd be $724. Call it 725.
So even if you got the $1,000 a month, you're a shortfall with Rema House.
Yeah.
But it is less because
for
you're
sure.
operating Rema House.
Yeah.
Please explain to the court why you need spousal support in your own words.
Well, you saw the budget, and it's very much within, right, that's just in reality, that's not an extravagant lifestyle by any means. And obviously I'm still showing $1,000 short a month after spousal support. So I don't know how I'm going to live without it. I really don't.
Currently, you're living with the 760 some. Are you having to dip into savings or any retirement monies?
I had a little savings for some home repair. I was going to have to, I need to replace the back slider on my trailer. There was water damage, and I was waiting for the weather to break so that they could come and replace the glass slider out the back. But I've taken that glass slider replacement money, and I've been using that to offset my cost of living and paying down my credit card every month.
How does your current financial situation compare to that on August 19, 2024, when this judgment was entered?
I'm sorry, I don't understand that question.
How does your current financial situation compare to what it was August 19 of 2024 when the judgment was entered?
Oh, well, my credit card is higher because I've been using my credit card to pay for more. And yeah, not good.
You indicate, have you taken any other steps to increase your monthly revenue besides what you described with respect to Rema House?
I haven't taken active steps. I've, like Doug, have inquired about different employment opportunities and am experiencing what they would call age discrimination. And of course, my stellar educational and degree background isn't really helping me either. What I do is prayer ministry. What I've done for the last over 20 years is prayer ministry since 2003. And so I really don't know how to break into something else.
Is there a job of, is there anyone hiring prayer ministry for educational or for religious
Not that I know of.
businesses, entities?
Not that I know of. Not that I know. I am looking at an opportunity to volunteer time to facilitate a healing class at First Assembly. That door hasn't opened yet, but even that is going to be time consuming. It will not pay. It's a volunteer position. But my hope is that it would give me some credibility with that population and then generate some referrals from it. I'm doing what I know to do.
And it's what you've done for the last 25 years.
Since 2003, I opened a DBA of Herma House.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Selesnik.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, I want to just touch on really quick, Ms. Herma. You indicated that you charge customers $70 an hour, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I
And
ask
you're-
$70 an hour.
I'm sorry?
I ask $70 an hour.
And you're capable, or you're historically are working 15 hours a week, correct?
I'd love to work 15 hours a week.
Are there
I'm
times?
capable. Bring me the clients, darling. Yes. Yes. I am capable.
Okay, when I'm looking at your schedule, so I look at let me pull it up.
I don't have that exhibit in front of me.
I'll share it with you.
Is it with you, Mr. Wrigley? Do you have that in your office?
I'm not sure which exhibit she's referring to. I'm assuming she's going to go to,
So I'm sharing with you on the screen what is marked as Defendant's Exhibit O. Do you recognize this document, Ms. Herma?
I sure do. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this exhibit is in response to a question where I asked you for your schedule. Okay. So we are I'm just going to do a 1 week spread. Okay.
Okay. And I'll be glad to explain to you. You said, I think I misunderstood your request. May I speak into that, or do you want just yes or no answers?
No, I just want to ask you questions.
Okay.
So you indicated to me in your response that you crossed off all of your personal calendaring items, correct?
All the personal items, yes.
So the items that are contained in this calendar, Ms. Herma, are consistent with your clients coming to seek you out for counseling, correct?
No.
So what are these then?
Dinner with Kim. That was personal. So I'll start at the beginning. Trial 2 to 5.
We're looking just at the 20th. Okay, so Tuesday.
Oh, the 20th being
20th.
Bonnie, who's no charge. Bonnie was pro bono. And Ryan is a 1 hour phone appointment. He's in Utah and he does 1 hour appointments.
Okay. Why are you deviating from the 2 hours with Bonnie?
Bonnie was pro bono. I couldn't tell you how long she was here. She's pretty long-winded. I wish she probably would have gone 12:30 to 2:30 knowing Bonnie. And then I had to have a little bit of a window before I started with Ryan at 3. Ryan was a paying client at $70 an hour from Utah. He and his wife, Jill, sometimes come in together. They do FaceTime from Utah and they send a check when they do for the 70 an hour.
Okay. So we have 1 hour.
Yes,
Then
ma'am.
we have Ashley from 10 to 3 or 10:30 to 1.
Huh? No, Ashley would be 10:30 to, Ashley's another telephone appointment. She is in Kansas City and would do an hour, hour and a half. Jill would do 2 hours. She's FaceTime. She's in Ohio. So that would be an hour, hour and a half for Ashley, 2 hours for Jill. Matt, Grand Rapids, returning to iPhone. No, that's just a note to self. I'm sorry, I failed to scratch that off. Actually, it's business related because it's a phone, but I had to take them return a phone to Mac GR. Cassie would have been an hour and a half phone appointment. She also is in Ohio.
And is Kim a personal appointment?
Kim is a personal appointment. Dinner with Kim would be personal. Yeah. Although we would talk about, ministry things. I'm not doing active ministry. I'm certainly not charging her for time.
Does she buy your dinner?
No. She cleans
You
houses.
have Ryan again from 11 to 12. So that's another hour.
That would be Ryan at 11 o'clock. Yes.
Amanda's an hour.
Amanda would be 2 hours.
Paul is an hour.
Paul and Mary Ann would be 2 hours.
So do you charge that for 2 people? Is that 140 an hour?
Yes, ma'am. No. 70 an hour for 2 people. It's a couple. I'm good. I'm not that good. No.
All right. And then we go, so that was on the 23rd, the 24th, 25th, 26th, IHOP Joan.
That's having breakfast with my mentor, Joan Fikema. She does not buy my breakfast. I don't buy her breakfast.
And then you look at Michelle at 5 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
Then she's 2 hours or 1 hour?
She's 2 hours.
Ms. Zalesnik, are you on the next page? Because if you are, I can't see it.
Oh,
There we go.
can
Thank
see
you.
it, right? Can you see
Now
it?
we can. Yes,
Okay.
now we
I'm
can.
sorry, Judge.
That's okay.
So for that first week, you have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours. So I'm terrible at math, Miss Herma, but I can use a calculator. So I'm going to take my calculator right here, my handy dandy calculator on my
Okay, let's
iPhone.
not be sarcastic. Okay, let's be nice.
Okay,
If you're going to-
$70 an hour times 12. So for this week, from August 18th to August 27th, Miss Herma, you earned $840.
Would you please go back to those hours to which you're referring?
Sure.
Okay.
So
So there's 2 for Paul.
we're just going from Tuesday here.
2. 1 for Ryan is 3. 1.5 for Ashley is 4.5. Jill, 6.5. Cassie, 7. We'll call it 8. And then Ryan would be 9, and Amanda would be 11, and then Paul and Mary Ann would be 13.
Okay, so then I got to add another hour in there.
Okay.
So 70 hours times 13, $70 times 13 hours. So that makes $910 for that first week.
Okay.
All right, then I'm not going to belabor. We have a half an hour, Ms. Herma, but I'm going to do my best.
All right, we do that. Okay. IHOP Joan is strictly having breakfast with my mentor. Okay.
That's fine.
Michelle is
saying-
2 hours. Cynthia is my pastor at First Assembly. I had lunch with her. That's not a session. 9 o'clock, I had a meeting at Res. That's when I was still going to Resurrection Life. It's nothing. It's networking. That's how I see it as networking. Bonnie, again, is pro bono. And then Paul and Rebecca would have been 2 hours. So that week I had 3 paying hours.
Well, then you had Bonnie and then,
I told you Bonnie's pro bono. Bonnie was going through a very painful divorce and was left with nothing. I don't even know how she put gas in the car to get over here. I really don't.
okay. So when we go through, I don't want to go through but which week is average for you? So if we're
None of
going-
those, darling. I wish it's not an average. Here's Soul Sisters it's a social group.
So what I'm
So that-
gathering
I'm
is,
telling you, there's no consistency. If there was consistency, I wouldn't be here.
so why do you pay $500 a month for an office space for an inconsistent schedule?
Hoping that it will turn around. That's why you see the networking. That's why you see me still going to breakfast with Joan, hoping maybe she sends referrals, going and having lunch with Cynthia, hoping she'll send some referrals, doing pro bono work for Bonnie, hoping maybe she'll tell some of her more affluent friends that she's doing well and come see me, trying to get referrals, doing what I can to try to keep this little business alive because it's all I know how to do.
Okay, but you mentioned before that you can do this from home. So,
Well, I have a dog that barks. I live in a trailer and a trailer park. I don't know if you're familiar with trailer park lifestyle and the ambulances and the fire trucks and all that jazz that comes in and out. It's really not conducive to a business environment at all. And I certainly could not meet people in my house, invite them into the Brookside Village trailer park. I don't think that's a thing at all.
couldn't you save yourself some money by not having the office space and meeting your clients outside in public?
No. No, there's no way I can do what I do. What, in a coffee shop? No. No,
Okay.
no, it's highly, highly confidential. No.
Okay, you mentioned that there are some people that pay in cash and
One.
you do not deposit that
Her name
cash
is
into your bank.
Michelle. Her name is Michelle. In fact, if you go back to the week she just showed me, I saw her name on there. I have one client who pays in cash, occasionally pays in check. She'll always pay in cash, but she most frequently pays in cash. Her name is Michelle. You can see her in my calendar.
During your marriage with Doug, did you not want him taking cash out of the account because you had cash on hand?
Objection, Your Honor. Why are we going back to?
And I don't remember that.
Hold on, Ms. Herma, hold on. Go ahead, Mr. Wrigley.
Why are we going back to pre-judgment?
Well, I think it shows a history. I'm asking something of a historical.
I will
basis.
allow limited inquiry on this.
So do you recall a time when Mr. Herma took out some cash from your joint bank account and this may have been one time, it could have been 100 times, but do you recall telling Mr. Herma not to take cash out, that if he needed cash to come to you?
Objection, Your Honor. None of this was dealt with on direct. I mean, and she's testifying about things that Mr. Herma has now allegedly told her.
It's a simple question, Your Honor. And it's completely relevant. And it's not outside the scope of cross-exam. She was the one that testified.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Go ahead.
All right. Do you need me to repeat that question, Ms. Herma?
I don't recall offering him cash anymore. No, I did not recall offering him cash and telling him to not go to the bank to get cash would be a waste of my breath anyway.
Okay. So you did not regularly keep cash on hand.
That was not the question. Your question asked whether or not Mr. Herma withdrew money.
I'll sustain. You might want to rephrase that question.
So did you keep cash on hand from payments made by your clients at Herma House?
I tried to keep $2,000 in cash most all the time. And at that time, that when
Let her finish.
I deposited cash back then. I didn't just keep all the cash. I deposited the little bit that Michelle gives now. Like I said, I use that to sort of balance out against the pro bono work, against pro bono hours that I can't even count. I was busier then. I was taking Square and electronic payment.
Have you sought other employment outside of Herma House?
Yes, I have.
And what type of employment are you looking for?
Anything. I inquired at Costco. I thought everyone could get a job at Costco. And no. What else?
So let me stop you there. So you are unable to get a job, and you have indicated that you do not have any medical issues or physical conditions that interfere with your ability to get around and move and do what you want, correct?
I'm sorry. What's the question?
So you do not have any physical ailments that prevent you from working, correct?
Correct.
And you have applied for positions outside of Herma House, correct?
I have.
And you have not been able to secure a position outside of Herma House, is that correct?
That is correct.
When did you start applying for positions?
Within I don't know.
Since August 19th of 2024, have you been applying for any positions?
I've talked to 2 different people about positions.
What were those positions?
One was at Stenger, working in their mailroom. I did not have an interview. I simply submitted a resume. And I spoke with some friends who have a sauna, red light therapy operation up on the North End. And I asked them if they needed any help.
Outside of that, you have not tried to get employment out of Herma House, correct?
No.
Okay. So you heard Mr. Herma testify about his efforts to secure employment, correct?
Mhm. Yes, I did.
And you have heard his efforts and the results of his efforts, correct?
I've heard his testimony, yes.
And you understand that with him being let go from In On Time LLC, that reduced his income by $70,000, correct?
Well, except for his unemployment.
But his loss of employment has reduced his income of $70,000, correct?
Except for the balance of his unemployment. His income has been reduced, but it's also been supplemented through unemployment.
Okay, you understand that unemployment is only a temporary benefit, is that correct?
I understood him to say September, unless he gets an extension.
Okay, so, but there is a limit on him receiving this $362 a month, correct?
He doesn't get $362 a month.
How much does he get?
I'm not sure, but it's certainly not 300. They give me $362 every couple of weeks, and then he gets another balance over and above that. I'm not sure how much he actually gets.
I think, Ms. Lesnick, you misspoke. I think you meant a week instead of a month.
Or, oh, okay, every week, yes. That's where I was like, I don't know, I was gonna find the exhibit and show it to her.
I knew that. I realized you didn't realize that you misspoke. So
Okay, so you understand that he makes the $362 a month, is that correct?
He doesn't make
Or a week?
a week. And then they give me two of those. Two of the 362 a month come to me. And then the other two, or three, I guess, on some months would go to him.
So since Mr. Herma's had filed his
I guess.
motion, since Mr. Herma's filed his motion, what have you done to, I guess, lessen your budget, your monthly budget or your monthly expenses?
I don't know what I can do. I honestly don't know what I can do.
Well,
Or
would you, okay, so you saw Mr. Herma's budget, correct?
I did. Yeah, I didn't know about the food pantry and the family fare freezer. That's news. But imagine you're probably saving a pretty substantial amount in there. That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have accounted for $860 per month in food budget. Do you understand that?
That could be. $200 a week in groceries and $50 a week eating out. Yes, probably.
Okay. Mr. Herma has $300 a month in food.
That's good. I don't know what you want me to say.
Okay. So I'm just checking on you to see where it is that you think that you could eliminate some of your expenses to live within your means. Because you are saying that you just can't do it. But Mr. Herma's shown you a budget that he's able to live by.
I don't have a roommate. And
Objection, Your Honor. If she wants to testify, why don't we just swear her in? That was not a question. She made a statement for about a minute.
Ms. Lesnick, do you want to rephrase and make it a question?
Sure.
Break it down.
I'll break it down. So if judge were to terminate spousal support or reduce spousal support down to 0, what will you do?
I don't know.
Well, Mr. Herma's income has been reduced by $70,000. Based on your knowledge of Mr. Herma, what has he done?
I don't know. I don't know. Mine wasn't reduced by 70, it was reduced by 12. It would be 12,000 a year. Because he's paying 1,000 a month.
Do you understand the difficulty that Mr. Herma is having in paying you $1,000 a month?
Because Mr. Herma,
Objection. He's not paying $1,000 a month. It's already been testified that the amount is around $750, $760.
Well,
So
means that he's getting arrearages, Your Honor. So
Ms. Lesnick, that's fine, but let's just I'll sustain the objection.
Okay, I have nothing further.
All right. Mr. Wrigley.
Ms. Herma, or Mary, Exhibit 22 reflects your Rema House gross income. Without necessarily looking at it, Ms. Lesnick directed your attention to August. In August of last year, you earned your net, well, your gross was $1,910.
Yes, sir.
That is one of the two highest during those 8-month period.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's the correct one.
August was a nice month. I would like that
It
again.
also goes down to 800 or 783 in October.
Yes, sir.
Is the $1,910 represent the amount that you deposited from the checks that you received from your clients, I'm sorry, not patients, clients into the account?
Yes.
Were all the monies received by check deposited into that account?
Yes.
You indicated already that there may have been Michelle may have paid you $140 that month in addition.
Yes.
May have been by check too. Did you
Yes.
check?
Yes.
Okay. I have nothing further.
Ms. Lesnick.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Wrigley, any further witnesses?
No, Your Honor, we would rest.
All right. Statements, Ms. Lesnick.
Thank you, Your Honor. Based on the testimony, there is clearly a change of circumstances that occurred as of November 2024 when Mr. Herma lost his employment at I-10 LLC. As a result of his unemployment, he qualified for unemployment benefits. He receives $362 each week, effective December of 2024, which will expire in September of 2025. So when we take Mr. Herma's income, there's not only a change of his income, but a significant change to his income, a significant change to his lifestyle, all while he has experienced some additional physical ailments. He has done everything that he can to apply for jobs seeking employment to bridge the gap between the loss of income and his ability to pay bills, his monthly expenses. This was a long-term marriage. We did negotiate a spousal support amount that was fair under those circumstances. But under the current circumstances, $1,000 a month spousal support obligation is no longer something that Mr. Herma can accommodate. Right now, he's not able to work. He can't find a job. At 71 years old, it is undoubtedly very difficult to find a job in trucking after you've had a significant safety incident. And then working as an arborist is a pretty taxing on your body type of employment. And he further doesn't have the equipment that he needs to do that type of work. So in order for him to participate in that type of work, he would have to purchase a significant amount of equipment. He just doesn't have the funds. So the sources of income, he makes the Social Security, $2,094 a month is deposited into his account. He pays for a larger sum of the rent associated with his living arrangements. His situation is that he's had to make significant adjustments to his lifestyle. Significant. There's no more elaborate vacations or anything of that type. He's had to cut down on just about everything and find free activities to participate in. He's not going out to eat, going out to mingle with friends. He's made adjustments to accommodate his lifestyle, his budget. Ms. Herma has not. The evidence shows she has not made any adjustments whatsoever. And even where she's working such limited amount of hours, still maintains an office space of $500 a month. It doesn't make sense that the return of investment is just not there. So her shortfalls are her own doing, not because Mr. Herma is not going to pay her spousal support. Those are her own consequences for her standard of living, not the standard of the living of the parties, but her standard of living. Mr. Herma should not have to pay for Ms. Herma's standard of living. So the contributions as it relates to the parties' joint estate, the parties' divorce resolved the marital estate. They each received an equal share of the marital estate, and they've used their monies to support their needs since the divorce. The fact of the matter is there's no ability for Mr. Herma to pay the spousal support amount. The spousal support order provides that a modification can be had if there's a change of circumstances. We've already established the change of circumstances, and it's just not a slight change of circumstances, but a significant change of circumstances. So we're asking that the court reduce Mr. Herma's spousal support obligation to 0.
Right, Mr. Wrigley?
Thank you, Your Honor. Want to start out by reminding the court that during Mr. Herma's testimony, he indicated that he is this time only $519 in the hole on his expenses, and that is after Ms. Herma is receiving the amount of spousal support that she is out of his unemployment, which is at least $362 a week, or every 2 weeks, I'm sorry, twice a month. So even after that, so he is capable of providing support for her. He had $2,662 of income. He claims that his expenses are $3,181. Your Honor, payment of credit card, take that out of there, he'll be down to 119 loss. You don't get to double dip. You don't get to say I got to pay my credit card, and oh, by the way, I'm incurring X number of dollars by going to the gas station at $40 for a full fill up. You don't get to do that. That just doesn't, that's double dipping. So I would submit, Your Honor, that he is right now contributing, and his shortfall is significant less than they made you believe it is. In addition, as I went to the question about his Social Security, he gets $2,824 a month gross. He pays $185 a month for medical insurance. He is banking almost $660 a month with the Internal Revenue Service for potential income tax. I would submit, Your Honor, this gentleman doesn't have a job. He said he hadn't have a job. He can't get a job. If he took some of that money, if he in fact took all that money and didn't bank it, even at 10%, Your Honor, the lowest tax rate that might be, because remember, he doesn't have a job, he'd be putting in his pocket another $400 and some a month. He chose to bank the money at almost 20% or maybe even 25% tax rate to hide it from our ability to add it to his income. He wants to claim he's banking it for the future. When he gets a job, if he gets a job, they'll do withholding unless he does what he did with Valley City Linen, which is take a gross check. And by the way, he didn't even get it to strike that. So what we've shown, Your Honor, is that Mary Herma in Exhibits 18 and 2 are showing you what her expenses are. We've shown you that, in fact, Rema House, which is being trashed by Ms. Zalesnik as almost some just hobby, is worthless. In fact, without Rema House, Mary's shortfall is even higher. We've shown you what the income is that Mary gets under Exhibits 19 and 22 to show you what is coming in. We've shown you what her needs are, 20 and 21. She was receiving $1,000 a month for several months, probably up and through November, I would assume, because that's on when Mr. Herma lost his job on November 22. Since then, she's been receiving some other monies. You heard her testify that she's had to go into the few savings that she has left. She's trying to avoid obviously hitting a $52,000 CD because that's her cash roll. That's all she has basically left. The current $1,000 a month defrays a significant portion. Yes, she has cuts she has to make. Ms. Zalesnik suggests that she ought to give up a $500 a month office. Where's she going to practice? Is she going to hold these prayer ministries right there in the courthouse? Is she going to hold it in Ms. Zalesnik's office in Starbucks? I don't think so. I think those are kind of private kind things. She has defrayed, so she's trying her best. Do you think that this woman has the ability to go out and get new clients? She's telling you that she's trying to get new clients. She's doing the best she can to do that. At 69 years of age, she does not have any other skill level. She doesn't have a beautician's license. She doesn't have a real estate broker's license, as if that was anything. She doesn't have any skills, Your Honor. She's done prayer ministry. I'm not trying to belittle her. I'm just trying to remind the court, this is her life. And this is the life that they chose when they got married. As she indicated, it began when they got married. It's been part-time since, it's been part-time throughout. To make her give that up and go sit somewhere on a park bench is really, I think, a slap in the face by Ms. Zalesnik, who indicate, and Mr. Herma, who stated, oh, she's got the ability to increase. He's not running that business. She's explaining to you the hazards of it. He still has a CDL license. Might he get a job? Yes. Do I believe that he has worked since November 22 of 2024? I do, Your Honor. I really do. And for us to believe him that he has not worked for anyone, for cash, for checks, independent contractor, done his landscaping for somebody and received monies, I think is ludicrous. At that time, when he was almost fired, on the couple days before, he was receiving $3,800 from Valley City Linen. He picked up, okay, $295 as an election, not as an election, and he was picking that up. He can do these other odd jobs, and I would submit to the court that in fact he has. He has testified he hasn't. So one of the things we're going to add, so Your Honor, I believe he has the ability to pay. His unemployment is going to go up to, I believe it's $446 a month. I'm sorry, a week. I've got the same problem as Zalesnik has. $446 under the new law. So he's going to even be receiving more money. Not that that's great. And I understand they both have expenses they need to defray. Mary has continued to work and tried to sustain herself with Herma House. I believe that Mr. Herma has the ability to pay because he's demonstrated basically that he can pay. Right now, that's $700 and some, 362 times 2 a month. He has that ability. Yes, he's losing about $119 a month, but if he didn't try to bank all his money with the Internal Revenue Service, he'd be able to pay his bills timely. Didn't hear Ms. Herma talking about banking money with the IRS. So to seek equity, he's got to do equity. You heard the arguments already about some tax refunds that he's refused to pay and intentionally refused to pay to her. He has to come to this court with clean hands. His refusal to pay those is demonstration of what his intentions and his aggressiveness against her are, his vindictiveness. You have the law you have to pay. You have in front of you the factors, which will be coming up. Here's our request, Your Honor. I'll keep it very short. I see we got a couple minutes. Number one, that spousal support continue at the $1,000 a month or whatever amount you feel is equitable. And if under the circumstances, it's the $362 every 2 weeks or twice a month, I understand. I would, of course, ask for $1,000, just like Ms. Zalesnik is saying he can't pay a dime. Number two, I'd like to require the defendant to pay those tax refunds now. He was obligated to do it. He wants to sit on them. Where is that money? That's conversion, Your Honor. I hope I don't have to bring an action for conversion. In addition, there's going to be one for $4,764 for 2022 refund that has to be paid. He gets them sent direct to him. I would say that the parties exchange certified and full and complete copies of their income tax returns for calendar year 2024 and every year in the future. Prior to that, each party receives 1099s, W-2s, 5498s, these tax returns. I would request that they exchange those, all of them, by March 1 of each year. I assume we're going to be back if Mr. Herma claims he doesn't have a job and is unemployment. So we're going to probably be back in November, because I believe when you look at his exhibit F, you'll see that the case closes in November. They were talking September. And certainly that we remind everyone of paragraph 7 of the USSO to report your sources of income to the friend of the court. Obviously, it will also be reserved as to any material change in either one of them. Somebody gets lucky and hits Powerball for 10 million or thereabouts, but we'd have material change. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I will be taking this under advisement, and I will get a written opinion out as soon as I can.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.